Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy Podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Roy, Coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wonder.
And Calvin.
Coach of Mighty Calvinator.
Kangaroos.
Now, this used to be a team that we feared if we were the lead man.
You used to get crabby at me giving you the Kangaroos.
I'll tell you what, Kanga. Strap yourselves in. This could be an hour long. This could be an hour podcast.
Get comfortable then.
Get comfortable, right?
Let's hope it's not. I don't have enough time.
Right, let's start with...
Think about North Melbourne.
Let's start... No, dog.
Right, let's start. Where are we starting?
You could potentially have...
We'll start in a good place then.
We're going to start with... Roy, I apologise about this, but we're going to start with Tristan Xerri.
Look,
Yep.
it's still a sore spot. However, you know I'm a big fan.
Okay, let me talk you through it. So he's priced at 64.
Yep.
Okay. Start of the year, he played the first 6 games. He was their number one ruckman for the first 6 games, and Goldie was playing second fiddle. In that patch, he averaged 74.
Yeah.
North then swapped it back.
Yeah.
Goldie goes missing in rounds 17 and 18. Xerri pumps out a season-high 110 against Geelong and a 74 against the Hawks. Right? Mm-hmm. He played out the last 5 games of the season next to Goldie, basically a 50-50 split. In that, he averaged 64.
Yeah.
He is 20 points under 20.
Yeah.
He can be an 84.
Holy hat.
Yeah.
Roy?
Oh, 100%. He's the best PPM player in the competition.
Yeah.
He was for
A
quarter
large
one.
chunk of the season, dog.
Quarter one.
He didn't lose his PPM. It was still high, dog.
No, he did lose it when he started playing again.
That's
what happened.
Look, he could be your R2.
Oh, dear.
Yes, he could be.
580,000.
Saves you a lot of coin if you want to go there.
It's a lot of coin.
Is he a keeper, though, for you?
No, I wouldn't think so. Not with what the rucks can do. These rucks, like last year's rucks, were amazing, right? Xerri is just there for the value to go up in coin, and then you can move him.
So Goldberg's gone. Who's playing with him? Who's chopping?
No one. Maybe Cal Jones or Coleman Jones or one of those blokes.
I think he's going to play bulk minutes in there.
So do I.
And I think he's going to do amazing things.
All right. Happy with that?
Yeah, so the question that came out of the AFL.com.au article is, will you pick Tristan Xerri as an underpriced ruck in Fantasy Classic? Your options are, lock him in. He's one I'm considering. Or nah, sweet soda or Grundy for me. Sweet soda.
It's definitely not the last one. It's a lock him in.
Is it for you a lock him in?
Yes, for the value.
Okay, so he's one I'm considering. I can't call it a lock in.
I'm a B.
Good option. Sit on the fence, you lot. Right.
You're locking your team in before Christmas, eh,
that's
buddy?
how I roll.
Well, you did.
I did.
And that got some good feedback.
Hey. Right. Let's move on. We're already locking in Xerri.
Right, all right. Well, are there more locks?
No, there are a lot of locks here,
Okay.
but we'll talk about a couple of new recruits. So Zac Fisher, he's a forward. He's a forward priced at 69, so 623K. So last year, Roy, he played 4 games off halfback towards the end of the season and averaged 86 in those 4 games.
There's a couple of tons in that, weren't there?
Yeah, a couple of tons. 108, 63, 103 and a 70.
Yeah.
The thing is, with the Blues, he also spent a fair bit of time forward, which obviously affected his average.
Yeah.
Now, we know what North Melbourne offer for points around that half-back area. But the problem is...
Mouths to feed.
How many people are going to do it?
Back there at the moment,
So they've already... We'll talk about other guys later, but he's a guy that apparently could be a guy coming off the half-back.
Well, he's in the VFL. That's what created any interest in other teams picking him up, is he was playing halfback and killing it back there. So, yes, he will be playing back there. Zeeble leaves a huge hole back there, and I think he is a mouth that is going to mung out.
And we'll talk more about these guys here, but I think, obviously, back there, they've already talked about Colby spending more time there.
Yes.
Jy Simpkin, they've talked about him spending time back there. Sheezel, obviously, as well.
He does.
So there's plenty of people there. So, anyway, just keep an eye on pre-season, Roy, because if he's down back, he can be picked as a forward.
Yes.
So he fills one of those holes there that we can't really...
Because it's weak up there.
It's very weak. Dylan Stephens, obviously the former Swan, round 1 last year, he had 104, 27 disposals. After that, 3 vests.
Yeah.
He only played 13 games, but he averaged 111 in the VFL.
Yeah, can play.
So under 500K.
Makes him cheap.
Yeah.
He's cheap. So
Yeah, mid only though.
It is.
It's that mid-price pick that you really need to do well.
you've got it. Yeah, well, that's right.
Like, yeah, price at 55. I know we think, 10, 20 points upside's good. Might need to be more than that, though. Is that mid-price midfielder? If
he
it's
was
a defender or forward,
yes,
you're taking that every day of the week.
And then regret it and say, why did we go there?
Bailey Scott was awesome. So he took his average from 69 to 86, averaged 100 in his last 13.
That's a significant number of games.
It's a massive number.
Like, that's the draft one that you're going,
Yeah, it's huge.
but it's still an 86 average, basically, next to it.
It is.
That's
Which you don't shop at someone priced at 86 at the Roos.
No.
It's as simple as that.
All right. Let's talk Sheezel because he's popped up in a few teams already.
Yeah.
And I've
really?
yeah.
I don't think you can start. I think he's like one of the biggest fades of the season for me.
Agree. So he had a 98 in his first year. Started on fire with those 4 massive scores.
Yeah.
He had some stinkers though.
Yes.
And I haven't taken them out. and
Haven't you? You normally
recalculated.
do.
No, not yet. But he had a 47, a 52 and a 53 in there.
Yeah.
So if they can turn into 70s, then he goes big.
Yeah. Well, he's an absolute
Yeah.
jet. I mean, I'm a massive fan of him, but my fear for him is I don't think he is going to be one of those mouths across half back.
I think because literally he was drafted as a mid forward.
Yes.
And you just think that, does he have to play some of that? Like, are we seeing these roles of these nice little easy roles for your first year? Go and do that. But then they're going to, and it might even be still testing type stuff to use him in different spots. Like, he did move up the ground in games as well.
Yeah.
And that might be, was that where some of those scores came from, V8?
Potentially. All right. LDU.
All right.
Oh,
He's
Mate, the most expensive
Angers
room.
me.
I know, I can imagine. So 14 games last year, an average of 67. He's better than that.
Super late outs as well.
Yeah. He averaged 112 in his last 6 games of the year. Right? This is what LDU can do. We all know this. He had some monster scores in there, but he's never completed a full season.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Never. Priced at 97, a little bit of a bump there in your draft and all that sort of stuff, but he won't play the full year. Yes. He's 100.
I know. He's never averaged it, though, has
No.
he?
Well-
Finds a way.
He always finds a way to wreck it.
Yeah.
All right, here's another guy, genuine value, and we're talking Jy Simpkin.
Yeah, so this is where I'd prefer to bump up a draft order or look
Yep.
at value for
Yeah.
Classic.
He's
So-
way down.
18 games last year, he only averaged 76. He played, there was 3 games there he didn't complete.
Yeah.
So one was a 48, a 7 and a 23. So injuries really hammered him last year.
Yeah.
Before that, though, he's been a 95 guy.
Yeah.
So if you took those games out, his average
Right
would be
back up
better.
Yeah, well, what could he be? And that's the thing, though. Like, yes, he was in, and I read a little article the other day, Dog, that he could be one of these guys coming off halfback.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
a bit
interesting.
more of a managed role.
So with that then, so you're looking at that. He's basically 20 points down on what he did the 2 previous
Yeah.
seasons.
Yep.
Like that's where, like Simpkin versus LDU. Does LDU average more? Probably.
Yes.
But the gap is closer.
Gosh.
Than
I'll
what
tell you
they're pricing there, priced
doesn't,
at.
He doesn't average more if he's going to half back.
No, and there were people looking
He'll
at putting.
smoke it back there.
Some people wanted to start with him last year
Yeah,
because
it
he
was-
averaged 103 in his last 10.
I think it was justifiable,
Yeah.
that interest in him
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year.
Agree.
And, I mean, it cooked up hard.
Well, now he's 20 points cheaper.
He's a bargain now.
He is. Taron Thomas.
Interesting. Yes.
It's a no because
Mid-only.
he's a mid-only. He got to 79 average from his 12 games. Off-season groin relocation surgery, Roy.
Hate those.
So,
Yeah.
so that's of the big group. And I want to try to keep this under an hour.
So these are, yeah, okay. There's some relevance there.
There's some good names to talk about there.
Yeah, for sure.
As I said, Simpkin being that real value pick.
He is real value.
I don't think you can touch an LDU just based on what the LDU can do.
Don't go there. No.
But yeah, all right. Let's talk
Yeah,
about.
I think there's dudes that have a bit of upside when you look across the list, though,
Yep.
don't you? Like Will Phillips, like, does he go better? Like, it's the draft sort of things where I'm thinking of these guys.
Yep.
Some of those, like George Wardlaw did well, a 65 in his first season, tackling machine. He had a couple of good scores in there.
He did.
Yeah. What about this? Jaidyn Stephenson.
I know.
Under 500,000 in a forward line where we cannot find a forward. That was from bulk games.
So,
he played 21 for that.
Yep.
Like, he just didn't football. And we know he's got a story that comes with him, and it's not to be unexpected that he could have a stinking year, but he is so much better than that.
So to do some maths, 18 points down from the year before, more than 30 from 2 years prior.
See?
Unbelievable.
What on earth is going on there?
Yep.
Imagine if he got the halfback right. I have seen him play back there too, and he kills it.
He's just too outside, isn't he? Like, that's where you get the sporadic scores from, but...
Yeah.
It's also worth noting that, the Kangaroos, they don't play in that opening round.
Right.
It'd be nice. Imagine getting a look at Jaidyn Stephenson. He comes out and hits a...
Plays halfback.
Jeez.
But it also does add their value because they don't have an early bye.
No. Well, yes, of course. Let's talk about the young ones here as well. The value picks. Well, obviously, we've got Colby, who was the highest scorer in the Coates Talent League with 111.
You are a proud
former
dad.
team. I taught him everything he needed to know. 29 touches, second to Sanders.
Yeah.
If he can come off the halfback. If he can come off the halfback.
I think whatever role he's doing, and he's in that team,
he racks.
He does well.
He could be... How early can you go on a pig? Serious?
I'm happy to give him a piglet snout.
Yeah.
As of today. I've been watching his preseason stuff come out.
He's been good.
He's quick.
He knows what's going on.
They're going to see a few guys get some games, aren't they?
So, he's going to play straight away. Yes. Dersma, he averaged 101 in the Coates League, so maybe
he's
will.
going to play forward, though, isn't he? Like, that's his thing. That's his role, which is always not great for fantasy.
No. Like, you're paying $291K.
Yeah.
You know,
which I think he can do.
Which, yes, because he's going to play.
Job security, borderline worth paying up for.
Yeah, exactly. Roy Charlie Comben, straight out of Comben.
Straight out, yeah.
What's he going to do? Is he going to be a halfback or something?
Well, I think
big back.
I think he's going as a big back to replace old Ben Mackay back there. But he's 338K as a forward. The other one that you can chuck on your bench is Toby Pink.
Pinky. Yes.
Now,
Tickled Pink.
Yes. So 20 games in the sample last year at an average of 51. 25 years old, former Sydney Swan.
Yeah.
Well, he was on the list. He didn't play. But, they're decimated back there, aren't they? Dog, you were telling me?
Well,
they've lost a few.
Mackay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's one. Don't know who else. Can't remember too many.
But anyway, like he's been in a lot of teams at the moment.
Might have to go and have a look at some of the highlights of goals against and work out who was back there.
So, for me,
there's
this
a few,
team,
though. I reckon you've ignored a couple of these cheap ones. Roy.
Like who?
Blake Drury remains at basement price.
Oh, stop it.
I have not ignored
Gosh,
that.
you love derailing my season, don't you, Dave?
Yeah, one that's worth a look because of injury in his first year. Braden George is one worth having a... Just keep an eye on this pre-season. 200K forward, so that's someone that's there. Now, Lazaro, what happens with him? Is he... You remember we had him a couple of years ago.
Sure did.
But, scores haven't been there. But
they haven't.
Is he... This is, I think, he's only contracted for this year.
Yeah, okay.
If he doesn't get an opportunity, then see you later, mate. But if he does, he's fighting for a carear.
Look, I mean, if he was playing round one, you'd have to strongly consider.
And that's what it is. Like all of these guys here, there are guys that are that sub 300K that if they're playing.
Like he's been in the system long enough that, this is your time now. So, definitely got to watch that.
So at the moment, I think I've got 4 Kangaroos.
Do you? So
Pink Eye, Colby, Dersma, and Xerri.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it. I like
it. Kanga.
Number one ticket holder, Calvinator.
Jeez.
Good on you.
This might clock in as one of our
Was it an hour long?
Close enough.
Hey,
it's felt like it on this end.
There's a lot of people to talk about. Yeah, until you started mentioning Braden George. And
that was inappropriate.
Razzo, all those ones.
Braden George, just keep... I saw you highlighted him.
Oh, just because you mentioned him.
Well, there's no rookie crisis.
There's rookies everywhere.
He's plucking names left, right and centre.
He sure is.
There we are. That was North Melbourne. Brilliantly done by Calvinator. If you haven't checked out the article on afl.com.au, the AFL Live official app, make sure you do, because You can see how many spelling mistakes he made in that one. Send them through. What do you find there? Hit us up on social at AFL Fantasies on X and also on Instagram, and hit us up on Facebook as well. Plenty of stuff to come.
You've been listening to the official AFL Fantasy podcast. For more expert advice from the traders, head to afl.com.au/fantasy.